This isn't just a D.C. problem. This is an American problem. When you hear the names of cities like my hometown of St. Louis, New York City, one of the first things that pops into your head is that they are dangerous. My hometown of St. Louis. The murder rate is twice D.C., 52 murders per 100,000 people. That's roughly equivalent to the homicide rate of Jamaica. And it's not surprising. Just consider this headline from St. Louis. Teens can't be held after carjacking, St. Louis police say. Then they carjack again. With us now, Tim Fitch, former police chief of St. Louis County, former councilman of the 3rd District of St. Louis County. Glad to have you on. I live in Washington, D.C. My wife obviously does. And there's a lot of times at night we don't want to go out because of these roving gangs of kids. You can't enjoy the city. What does bringing in federal law enforcement do?
You know, it sounds good. The last count I knew, there was about 25 different federal law enforcement agencies in D.C. So there's a lot of staffing there, but nothing, like they couldn't just take over the city, the federal police and police the city. They don't have enough. Now, what they could do, what Trump could do, is take over and command the police department, put his own person in charge. He could do that temporarily. He could bring in the National Guard. They could do it. So there's options available to the president if he wants to take those options. But the real issue is this, Leland. It's the parent, or parents. In many cases, it's a single parent not supervising their children. That's what's causing these issues. If their 12 and 13-year-olds are out at 3 and 4 in the morning doing carjackings, where is that parent?
Is it time to start holding parents responsible?
We've done that in St. Louis. 4th of July, for example, downtown St. Louis. Basically, if juveniles were engaged after curfew in any kind of offenses down there, they were brought into the police station. Their parent was called to come and pick them up, and then the parent was issued a summons for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So we'll see what that's going to look like long term. If they, that's a misdemeanor. Many people don't care about misdemeanor. Many of them don't care about felonies. So we'll have to see if that's going to work long term.
We're watching video right now of what's called Navy Yard, which is where the baseball stadium is here in D.C., big entertainment district, residential district, a lot of apartments. And these were some of the marauding gangs of kids that were taking it over and beating people up and mugging people, on and on and on. You've seen this in St. Louis as well. This is Jeanine Pirro, who is now the U.S. Attorney for D.C. Take a listen.
We're seeing far too much crime being committed by young people, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, that I can't get my hands on. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures, but, young people are coddled, and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be going to arts and crafts in family court.
Point made. But in St. Louis, for example, has the prosecutors change their tune from the experiment that we're not going to punish anybody because it's not their fault, it's society's fault?
It absolutely has changed. Our new prosecutor in St. Louis County, Melissa Price Smith, has said, if you get caught committing a crime with a firearm, you will go to jail the first time. So she's made that promise.
That's hard to imagine that you have to say that, but
Yeah. Well, and typically, we have a crazy point system with juvenile offenders in this state where you have to hit so many points before you actually get incarcerated. So we had a recent incident in St. Louis where they carjacked an Uber driver, were immediately released. The very next day, they carjacked a Lyft driver. So that's what we're seeing if you don't enforce the law and you don't incarcerate people. And everybody's like, I don't want to incarcerate a 15-year-old. They're the ones committing the violent crimes.
Right.
Do we just let them loose and let them run the streets?
Well, not anymore, apparently, thankfully. Tim Fitch, it's good to see you as always. Thank you, sir.
Good to see you, Leland.
Yeah, we first wrote about this in War Notes. Your chance for an inside look at the show every day. It is free. warnotes.com to subscribe. You will be delighted and smarter when you check your email at 7:05 p.m. every day. You can respond to the email. We read them all, your thoughts a little later.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.